Let's grease the Kubota Zero Turn. This wants grease every 10 hours. I wrote down last time I did it 2059. We're at 2070, so we caught this just in time. You'll notice I got the hood up, the seat up, the covers off the mower deck. I like to start with the absolute worst one to get to that is possibly the most important. It's underneath the mower deck. See that little drive shaft? Well, that's half of it. It's that end. You've got to kind of stand on your head and reach under here. You can't even see the grease fitting because it's not on this side. It's on this side. See, right now, my finger's touching the face of it. And that's the orientation where the knuckles open and you can get the grease gun on it. I don't know if I can... No, there's stuff in the way, so I can't get the camera in to show you. But I promise there's a grease fitting right there pointing towards the tire. And it's very important because those U-joints are a known weak spot and they're expensive and a pain to replace. So start with that one. It only usually takes 2 or 3 shots of grease. There's no such thing as too much grease, mostly. So after you stand on your head and you get that, work your way out. You got spindle here, there's the grease fitting. Make sure you wipe them off first so you're not pumping any crud in there. These will take 10 or 15 shots. If you put a lot in, it will blow out the seal up here, which is not great. But we've burned up quite a few bearings, so I'd rather have it over lubricated than under lubricated. So you work your way around front. On the caster bearings, I usually just give this one shot, but the wheel bearings are very important. We've burned up quite a few of these. The grease fitting, there it is. It's on the hub. They will tend to take a lot, and you want to pump them until grease comes out. You'll see it come out right here next to the fork or on the other side. That's very important. Like I said, we've burned up quite a few of those bearings. On the very front, feel your way under here. There's a pivot for the front axle. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. They're right there. Clean that, give it a few shots. You got the other wheel here. This stupid little caster, I mean, they half the time they're more trouble than they're worth. All right, around this side of the mower, you've got another spindle right here, just like the other one, and there's all kinds of excitement underneath. So you've got, there's that. Cool, apparently I hit a button and stopped the recording. So on this side, you've got the other knuckle. Grease fittings in there. You'll notice it's facing the wrong way. When you have it oriented so you can get to the other one, you can't get to this one. So I grab the belt and pull it around until you can see it. Clean it off real good, use a rag, I'm just demonstrating. Again, that gets a couple shots. There is fitting on the shaft that helps the telescope that half the time is damaged or broken off, and yeah, apparently it's gone now. So I'll have to replace that sometime. This pulley, there's a pivot back here for that pulley, and then the center spindle right here under the gearbox, and that's going to take 10 or so shots of grease too. You're not going to see it overflow there. So that's what it needs every 10 hours. There's 2 other areas that get greased. I do them every other greasing. Underneath the seat, where is it? There is, what's the pivot for the control arms. There's one on each side. Maybe you can see it. And there's one over here that they're all filthy. They just get like one shot of grease. And this little drive shaft that goes from the motor to the transmission. You gotta try to carefully turn it, which I'm not gonna be able to do one-handed. But there is a grease fitting on one of the caps, and it's the one on the bottom that you can't see. But they're not too bad to get to. There's also its partner. Oh, I don't think I can reach it. And no, because the camera's right where I need to reach. But there's another U-joint. You can see directly above the hydro filter, there's a grease fitting on the shaft where it telescopes. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to point to it, but hopefully you can see there's a universal joint. And there is a grease fitting. Again, it's in the cap on the outside. That's so much easier to get to than the one under the hood. But like I said, those I do every other greasing. The important ones are all the ones on the deck and the front wheels. And then when you're done, I write it on the little chalkboard here, the hours, and I also write that on the chalkboard in the shop, the hours and the date.